Hi guys, welcome to another week, another opportunity for us to have a lovely conversation. Welcome to Ms.Understood. I say this all the time at the introduction of these videos, is that one of the reasons I created this platform was for us to have meaningful conversations where we can give understanding to different situations, different seasons, different happenings in life. And my hope is that you know by now that this platform is not Nyawera just speaking, but it's an opportunity for you to also engage me, and you guys do an amazing job. So welcome to Ms.Understood, and I am so grateful for all of you who are new, all of you who are Ms.Understood community. I'm absolutely grateful for all of you. I would like to say that I am particularly grateful for the fantastic response and support that you guys have given the friendship series. Hey! You guys didn't come to play. The conversation has really spiraled, and I appreciate all of you who've reached out at a personal level. And in one way or another, I hope that I've given some clarity. Again, I say this often, that I don't speak from a place of knowing it all, but I really like to share my experiences so that someone doesn't feel like they're alone or they journey through life alone. For the next few episodes, we're going to be engaging in fear as a point of discussion. Like, what is fear, different types of fear that you go through, and just trying to find practical solutions on how to eliminate and treat certain types of fear. I'm becoming a believer in the truth that is, you can't fight what you don't know. And many of us don't know that we're fighting fear in certain areas of our lives. And so you start to fight the wrong thing or the wrong people. And so I pray that this next episode will give you insight to what fear is, you know. I want us to give names to particular types of fear and figure out how to solve them so that we don't do it amiss, right? Yeah, I want this to be a very candid platform. And so I have battled with a lot of fear as a person. And I know that this video and the many to come, the 3 or 4 to come, shall be, my hope is that they enlighten you and make you more interested in this conversation. So the first fear we're going to be dealing with today is actually a fear that emanates from the previous conversations we've been having on friendship, which is the fear of commitment. Now, ladies, slow down, because I know many of you think that this fear is actually for men only. We feel like men just afraid of committing, but in actual sense, we have this fear too. And so even as we talk about this fear, I want you to understand that my anchor may be a lot of relationships, but sometimes the fear of commitment manifests in different ways. Maybe you're afraid to commit to work, afraid to commit to your studies, afraid to commit to, I don't know, name it. It doesn't only have to be relationships, but there'll be a lot of examples there because it's the closest that I could get illustrations that are close to me for. Commitment is an interesting word. It's I like how it rolls out of your tongue. It says commitment. I like it, commitment, blah, blah. But commitment is the total dedication of oneself to a particular matter. Now, the best way to illustrate what commitment would be is our football fans. They are committed to this game. You know, I have a friend, he's called Jeremy. He's so committed to football. Like, I know when certain seasons have begun because I will see it on his stories. I will meet him in person and he'll be talking about it. DJ Raf, you guys know DJ Raf of the Shank Bible Study. He's also a very big football enthusiast. And so they are committed to the sport. And that's exactly what commitment is. And so many a times I lose relationships because it's true is that committing to a relationship means I'm committed to this person and committed to where this relationship is going. But fear has a way of paralyzing us and making us feel like we cannot commit and we don't know how to do it. So the fear of commitment, I'm going to break it down into 3 different things. One is some of the reasons why we're afraid to commit. And then the other thing is some of the characteristics. So that maybe you're thinking, this is not me, but in actual sense, you'll find that this could be you. And finally, some tangible and practical solutions on how to fight this fear of commitment. So there are many reasons as to why we're afraid of committing. When I was doing my preparation, I came to the realization that one is that you have painful memories of rejection. And this one is a hard one to heal from because the unfortunate truth is that you must heal from rejection. You must come to terms with reality, but those things can really, they make you so scared that, you know, somebody hurt me. Why would I be interested in committing again? Another reason is that maybe you had a childhood that was characterized by failed promises becoming so normal, you know? And it's so interesting because it could be as simple as every time your dad would tell you, I'm going to see you I'm going to come pick you up from school, and he never came. So you're very afraid of committing because of that. It sounds like it's a very juvenile example, but childhood trauma has a way of destabilizing your current reality. And so those are some of the things that you need to dive into as a person. Another reason is that you could be afraid of unhealthy relationships. You know, we people, our society is so interesting because I feel like many a times we've glorified unhealthy and toxic relationships. So many people are afraid of even being in relationships because they're afraid that they will be hurt. But I'll give my input at the end of it. But that could be a reason why you're afraid to commit, because in your head you're like, me, I commit to an unhealthy relationship. No, I will not do it. And so that in itself can make you, paralyze you and draw you away from committing to a relationship. So there are different characteristics as to how you can tell, by the way, this fear of commitment I have. The first one is you avoid at all costs making any long-term plans. At all costs. Yani you think long term, nope. I will not see this through for that long. Another reason is that you're afraid of future plans. When you're in a relationship, like you're dating or you're with this friend and you're feeling like it's going somewhere, you shy from thinking about where this relationship is going, because in your head you don't want to commit to that at all. So you're like, it's good now, let it happen now. I don't want it to go anywhere further, and I will not give it any attention whatsoever. Another type of characteristic is that you have zero emotional attachment to your person, particularly your person. Like, you don't want to attach your emotion. And this could be because you're so scared of being hurt, you know? And let me just say, that's not something that is easy to brush off, because I know for a fact that after my heart was broken into small pieces, I was so scared of being emotionally attached to anybody, because I thought, guy, now here, I'll just be hurt again. So you detach any emotion. And anytime you feel like my heart is feeling nice towards this person, you cut them off immediately, because you don't want to commit to them whatsoever, in any way whatsoever. Another trait is that this type of, the fear of commitment shows that usually a trait that it brings about is that you're very scared of committing. I've said so many words there and they've made no sense. All I'm trying to say is that another trait to showing that you're afraid of committing is that you're poor at communicating. And this one is interesting because I'm not saying that you communicate badly or like you're rude and offensive, is that you shy away from communicating completely because you know that's an investment of your time. And so more than likely you don't want to have a conversation with anybody because it requires you to invest time, show interest, show emotions. That's a real challenge. So if you have any of those traits, I can bet you top dollar this discussion is for you. So just to give a huge disclaimer, nobody is perfect, and this fear is not for some people. Many of us have found ourselves in seasons in our lives where we have this fear of commitment because of things that have happened before. So don't feel like you're like the world is on your shoulders or like you're the failure in life. No. Let's try and find a way to fight these things. Now, there are different things that I'd like to say before even I get to how to solve it, is that this fear of commitment, many people want to avoid it, and so they rush into things that are not healthy in any way. So you start to have, how do I show this to you? So you start to have situations where you're running into people's lives with the intention of, I want you near me so that I don't have this fear of commitment. But that's not how you solve a problem. Solving a problem means that you unearth what is the issue, and then with that find healing for the situation. And so this type of fear can make you start to have relationships, if that's a word. It's like the opposite of a relationship, because a leech, I don't know if you guys know what leeches are, like they stick to you and they suck blood, suck, and then when they're done, they fall off. And in fact, they scientifically they say the only way to remove a leech from you is that let it feed off of you until it's done, or burn it, because that's the only way it'll come off of you. And why that's a dangerous thing to do is that a leech will always take away from you, and because you're afraid of committing, you fail to see what other people are taking away from you, because you really want to cover up this fear of commitment by saying, I have this person near me, but in actual sense, they're taking away from you and they're not building you in any way. So don't rush into these leech relationships. Make sure that you're building proper and organic relationships where you realize you have a fault, fix it before you run into any other friendship, relationship, or work situation. Be very careful that you don't commit the wrong way. So there are different types of attachments that I felt like I learned about them and I was blown. My mind was blown away because I realized that many of us have attachment, different types of attaching ourselves to people. And this justifies why we're afraid of committing sometimes. So the first one is that there's the secure attachment style. Now, these are the people who, they love easily, they trust easily, they struggle not with intimacy. Like, these are the people who, like, in my head, I picture them like this, with their hands always open, ready to hug you, receive you, love you, like, they're just like they're the goals for any type of relationship. That's a secure attachment style. Another attachment style is the anxious style. Now, this one is the one where, yes, they are loving, but there's a lot of doubt in this trait. So this type of person, if you're dating them, you'll hear them always asking, why aren't you texting me? Are you cheating on me? Who's that girl? So it looks like paranoia, it looks like jealousy, but it's actually an attachment style. So don't shut them out, but this is just how they attach. And I'll be sharing with you later why this is the way it is. But this anxious attachment style is actually, it shows in a fear of abandonment. Like, there's separation anxiety every time you're away from them. These are the guys you tell bye and in a minute they're like, hi, where are you? How's it going? So it's it manifests like a clinginess, a neediness. That's how they attach to people. And then there is the avoidance. Now, this one is very afraid of intimacy. It's like they smell intimacy cooking and they shut the kitchen door and leave the building because they are so afraid of it, they don't even want to be near it. So they avoid at all costs. They are the type of people who are emotionally unavailable. Like, they do not function in emotion at all. And finally, there's the fearful avoidant. Now, this one, it's like they want intimacy, but they avoid it. So it's like the what's the word people use in normal society? It's like they are tough on the outside but soft on the inside. Because on the inside they're like, oh, even me, I want to be loved. Oh, even me, I want to be in a relationship. But in actual sense, on the outside they're telling you, no, I don't have time for that. I will not commit. So they suffer a lot of confusion in that. Now, these type of attachment styles are usually as a result of how we've been brought up. We've been brought up in homes where in the morning, mom and dad wake up and maybe they kiss you and tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You start to become a secure in your attachment to people. Maybe, for example, in your home, you have been denied intimacy growing up. Maybe you begin to become very anxious. Maybe you saw a home where there was adultery, maybe, and you start to feel like, I'll just be cheated on, right? Then there are people who their home was like the military. Greetings, hello. So it's very hard for them to know what intimacy is and love and emotion is in that space. And then there's the fearful avoidant where they've been told, I love you, but it's such a tough space. So they've been told, don't show emotion, don't show any emotion, but deep down they want to. So that's the fearful avoidant. So don't fight yourself. These are deeper things. And if you know me, I'll put at the bottom any descriptions because I'd really like you guys to connect with some therapists that I know, because I think this series will make you realize that you need to release and just find healing. And sometimes I believe in therapy, and I'm a believer because I believe that the mind, yes, we're given the mind of Christ, but I think the mind is like a muscle. And sometimes what therapy I have seen does is that it's like the gym for the mind. So I'm not against it in any way. So I'll share my therapist contacts at the bottom. Please reach out to them. They're fantastic and they're affordable. So now we know what the reasons for we're afraid to commit. We know what are the characteristics of committing, of this fear. But one of the things I wanted to do was not just give you this information, but even give you some solutions to what you should do when you feel this fear coming stronger on you, or you know that you have this fear. I would like to say first that just try. Yeah, believe in the opportunity that not everybody who has come your way has come to hurt you. And this is it sounds so basic in its wording, but it's true, because yes, somebody hurt you, and yes, it's hard to see past the pain, but in actual sense, I'd like you to know that not everybody is coming into your life to hurt you. So find comfort in the fact that just as you would like to be given second opportunities and second chances, extend grace to other people as well. The people who want to love you for who you are, or love you for who you are. Don't shut the door on them because somebody hurt you before. Don't let your past close you from the potential of a beautiful future. Another way of doing this is that you need to engage in the change of perspective, and your mind needs to I don't want to use the word evolve, but for the lack of a better word, it needs to change from the way you're thinking. Change your way of thinking. My friend Ben, you guys know Ben. Ben is a car enthusiast. Like, any few minutes you have with Ben, he's going to tell you about a new car, how much it costs, the value, why it's that expensive, why it's good, what it is. I'm telling you, he's the guy. He's the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy. But there's something I learned from him one time, is that there's a car that I really like, and I think I like noisy big cars that are, just like on the road. I'm not even joking. But that's not the car I drive yet, in Jesus' name. But there's something he told me one time. He said, when you're looking for a car, because I like cars that can drive off-road comfortably, he told me, when you're looking for a car, make sure that you get a car that can engage in a four-wheel drive. And he told me, when you get a car that has a four-wheel drive, that can engage in a four-wheel drive, it'll be easy for you to navigate on smooth roads. But when you get onto rough roads, you just engage the gear and it'll move, not in a smooth manner, but the car can handle it. When you're looking at transitioning into friendships and relationships, this is something that you need to put inside yourself, that all of us as human beings, it's like we have a four-wheel drive engagement when it comes to relationships. There's nothing like happy days forever. And if there's a relationship like that, I really would like to know, because for every season in a relationship, when the turmoil comes, that's when you're meant to engage the four-wheel drive, right? And engaging the four-wheel drive means that there are times it will be engaged, there are times it will be disengaged. But when it's engaged, it means that your tough times have come. So when a car gets spoiled, for example, you don't park the car on the side of the road and leave it and walk away and say, this car, forget it. And if that's you, let's have a conversation in the comment section, because when tough times come, you don't leave the vehicle. You find a way to fix it. And this is what this fear does to people, is that this fear makes you feel like you will shut out commitment, you will shut out relationships, you will shut out opportunities. But in actual sense, the test is that the car is spoiled, fix it. So the off-road and on-road analogies to tell you that there are times that will be rough and shaky. Don't base those on past pains and past failures and past relationships that really went south. Engage in your four-wheel drive. Engage in this car that it'll take you through good times and bad times. Engage. And it's interesting because all I'm really trying to say in a nutshell is, in commitments, you must purpose to stick it out to the very end. If this is the guy, or if this is the lady, or if this is your relationship choice that you have found good, you can't take somebody only on their good days, and I think that's a very face value relationship, because your bad days teach you so much about people. And if it's things that are correctable and things that are not harmful to you and the other party, engage this four-wheel drive. Stick it out even on the rough road. And that four-wheel drive is engaged by telling yourself that this is a bad situation, not a bad relationship. So you'll fight. We all do. Doesn't mean that this guy is Satan or this chick is Satan. No, stick it out. And maybe it's just to tell you that the fear of commitment is a fear that will paralyze you from the opportunity of love, the opportunity of happiness, and the opportunity of honest and authentic relationships. Because you have been hurt before, it becomes like a block, a wall. Immediately somebody comes at you the right way. Break that wall. And breaking that wall is just to tell you that you need to realize that this is a fear you have and fix it. Remember, a bad car on the road is not thrown away. You fix it when it haribika's on the road. So are we afraid to commit? We all are. In one way or another, I've been afraid to commit. but I know the benefits of commitment now. And if you ask me, they outweigh the negatives of commitment. So I don't know, try it, right? Be kind on yourself, open up to the opportunities. Don't judge people harshly, because one bad person doesn't make a bad population. It just meant one person hurt you or did you dirty. Find healing and find peace in the next, because greater awaits you, yeah? And even in that, it's not to say that you should run into the next relationship. Find healing for yourself. Are we all afraid? We're all afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid so much about so many different things. But the fear of commitment will deny you so much. Don't let it hold you back. So find healing, right? And you'll come out the right way. But I believe that if you feel like this fear has really paralyzed you, go the next level. After this video, find one of the therapists that I'll list down there, reach out to them and book a session. I'd be interested to know how you've coped with this fear if you have faced it. Tell me what you guys think about the fear of commitment. I'm so curious to find out, because when I was reading about it, I wondered, will you guys relate? And I'd really like to know if you relate with this, or if it speaks to you, please make sure you share it and tell the world. Hit the subscribe button. Our community is really growing, and thank you so much for the love and support. Until next time, I love you deeply, and let's fight this fear, right?